So, welcome to our three principles coaching masterclass this afternoon. So, three principles for Steve and I. Steve and I often talk about how the principles has played out in our lives since we started applying it, not just in coaching, but to ourselves. And stress is one of the biggest things that we found, that we just don't really have any stress anymore. So, guys, the way that the masterclasses work, what we'll do is we tend to do a live coaching demonstration, and Steve and I will both kind of chip in with coaching, and then we'll kind of stop at various points and talk about how we're working with whoever it is that we're coaching. And then at the end of the masterclass, we'll give you a little bit of information about the three principles course that we run, which we've got our next intake starting in May next year. We're currently on our third cohort at the moment. So when we talk about three principles was something that came from, believe it or not, a Scottish welder. Of course, all great things come from us Scots. So Sid Banks, he had an insight. And this insight was all about these three principles. And these principles kind of underpin our experience. And we're not going to go into depth about what those principles are today. What we're going to do is coach someone so that they get the experience of what Steve and I have experienced. And certainly from our perspective, since we've really brought this into our lives and our coaching businesses, we just feel much more calm about everything. Nothing really bothers us anymore. We don't get het up about things.
Or if it does, it doesn't last as long.
No, not at all. And we're finding that we're getting very, very quick and long-lasting results from our clients. And we're going much deeper with our clients as well. Would that be useful for you to see this afternoon?
Who else has got something that's bothering them or wants to achieve something but feels there's a blockage or anything else? Rosemary, if I'm coaching you, you'll have to have your camera on. What's the main thing you want to be coached on today?
Basically, I'm being made redundant, Steve.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of going, oh, hell, where do I go? Bit old for this move. Do I sort of go back into the sort of coaching arena? Do I carry on with the environmental stuff that I do? Because I'm a lecturer at the moment. I'm a senior lecturer. Where do I go? What do I do? Do I want to be full-time? Do I not want to be full-time? Do I want to do my own thing? Do I want to work for myself? So I'm doing the headless chicken, running around and going, I don't know what to do, is where I'm at.
And is it definitely you're being made redundant?
I am waiting for the confirmation. I was confirmed as being provisionally selected for yesterday. I get confirmed on the 15th because they have to wait until the 15th because we're in collective consultation with the unions.
Okay. Now, I know a little bit about you. You're involved with the union, aren't you, in some way?
I am, yeah. So during the collective consultation, I've had the joy of representing another 85 academics plus myself.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the kind of feeling at the moment you've got?
Internally, in my body, I'm quite calm. My head is 150 miles an hour going, whoa, what about this? What about that? Should I do that? Should I do that? What would happen if I did that? What about this over here? Oh, so
Your head's full
my head's in panic mode.
Okay. Okay. So tell us more. So you might get made redundant, probably on the 15th. Okay. And are you still doing that master's degree?
Yeah. For those of you on this call who don't know me very well, this will be my 5th degree. I am a serial
degree person.
serial studier. So yeah, I have 4 degrees, and I decided that wasn't quite enough. 5's a nice number.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing a master's in psychology.
Fabulous. And when does that finish?
That should finish probably August.
Okay. So tell me more about the things that your kind of head's full of.
I guess I've always worked for other people.
Okay.
And people have always done the, all the nitty gritty stuff like tax and all that.
Okay.
And I've always been very risk averse. So I sort of gone, whoa, if I work for myself, that means I've got to find people. I've got to find clients. I've got to do stuff. I've got to play with the tax man. Am I capable? Can I do this? And you might be sitting there going, you've got 4 degrees, love. You're bright enough.
No, I don't think having degrees makes you any brighter or able to get clients.
I've got an MBA though, so I should be able to do tax, shouldn't I? That should be part and parcel, really. But it's all that. It's the unknowns, I guess, and the fact that I'm quite risk averse, as Callie will tell you. Actually, very risk averse. It sort of plays into it, so that it's do I play safe, or do I actually do something I'd really like to do, which has a risk?
So on the one hand, you kind of want to play safe, and does that include other employment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then when I'm looking at jobs, I'm doing the female imposter syndrome bit of, I don't think I can do all the stuff on this list. Perhaps I ought to look at something else. And then I'm dropping down in salary scale from where I am because I don't think I'm able to. Yeah.
So I'm just discovering more about, just going to tell the guys where kind of we're up to. So at the moment, all I'm doing is trying to find out Rosemary's World. And things that I'm picking up are things like, I've always worked for other people. I'm risk averse. I don't know if I'm capable of getting clients. The accountant thing's just I'm ignoring that. So I'm just going to go and explore a bit more because that's all I'm doing at the moment. So on the one hand, we can have other employment, but you're not sure whether you can do this job or this job or this job. What's the alternative? That's the playing it safe. What's the alternative?
The alternative is doing a bit of a pick and mix, I guess. Picking up bits
in a sweet shop.
Yeah, a bit like that. Picking up bits of training, doing some coaching, doing some auditing. So a bit of variety, but working for me.
Okay, so on the one hand, you think you want to play it safe, but on the other hand, you want to do your own thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's nice. And you happy to do some coaching, some training?
Yeah.
And you do those things at the moment, or have done those things, yeah?
Well, obviously, I've trained in coaching in the past. I've coached students. I'm a lecturer, so training would just be sort of similar, but with less marking.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes.
Training with less marking sounds like
training with less marking, yeah.
So training and less marketing. That's good. So I'm just going to talk to the guys for a minute.
Yeah.
So we have this thing called Tim Galloway describes it. Those of you who've been on practitioner with this will know. But we have like a self one and a self two. And what Tim does is he gets the person's self one occupied and throws a tennis ball to them or something and asks them to look at the arc of the ball and then look at the light reflecting. Whilst self two magically catches the ball that they could never catch. So that's the story we tell on practitioner. So we have like self one and self two, but the self one's like our ego. It knows nothing about our future. And our ego tries to keep us as we are, guys. So that's what I'm picking up, where the self too is more like our true self. It's like the heart's desire in us that wants to be fulfilled in some area. But the trouble is the ego keeps getting in the way. And I think we've got a bit of a battle going on between the ego, let's call it stick person Rosemary. So we've got in fact, while you're there, just draw a little stick man, Rosemary, and put your name on top. So I think we've got a bit of a battle between stick man, hi Rachel, and the one who wants to do her own thing, but is a little bit scared. Now here's the thing, stick man, whenever you feel scared or fear, stick man, it's always stick man. The feelings always come from stick man. And stick man is just everything that's been fed into your script from being a little person. All the advice and you shouldn't do this, you should go and get a blue chip job, you should do this, you should have this, have a proper education, get 7 degrees. When you've got 7 degrees, you'll be good enough to maybe do an 8th degree. Anyway, let's go back in. So, Rosemary, how do you feel about what we said about a little bit of a battle going between your ego and your true self?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's and maybe it's sort of things I've heard in the past from family. Oh, you need a proper job. I mean, that was the first thing my mother said to me when I got my first degree was, oh, you're going to get a job now then?
Yeah. Well, it's a natural thing. They want to, parents, grandparents have come from a time of lack of resources, lack of food, lack of all sorts. So, grandparents, great-grandparents, parents, they're all instilling their values into little people, and little people grow up with those things in their script still. So that feeling you have when you think about doing your own thing, coaching or training, what's the feeling you get?
What if I'm not good enough?
Okay. What positive feeling do you get?
Oh, wouldn't it be nice?
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
So if you did do coaching and training, what would that do for you?
It would give me the freedom that I crave. It would also... Sorry?
You crave it? That's
yeah.
You crave
I have a job where I'm quite free now, but I'm not totally free.
Well,
I get to decide what I do, but not
you haven't,
totally.
have you?
No, not really.
Will you get a decent payoff, by the way?
Sorry?
Will you get a decent payoff?
It's better than if I waited and got pushed. Let's go with that. It's not going to make me retire, and I won't be able to buy a castle in Scotland. It's nowhere near that.
Will you be able to live for a few months or longer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
I've got a bit of leeway. Yeah.
What? 18 months?
No, God, no.
12 months?
Bit below. More than 6. Less than 12.
That's good. It's a good job you jumped rather than waiting for the mandatory one. If mandatory is less than 6, that's not very good at all, is it? So you should have been in the NHS in NHS England. They're getting a month's salary for every year they work. They're up to a maximum of 132 grand. Going to David
I'm in the wrong place.
You are.
Yeah.
Anyway. So this feeling that you think if you did your own thing, you get a feeling of freedom. Yeah. Yeah. Did you get the same kind of feeling when you were doing dancing?
Depends who I was dancing with.
Don't argue with me. Just say yes. Don't try and, Rosemary, I know you're very analytical, so I know what you're doing. I know that you'll try and say, well.
All I'll say is, did you get that feeling when you were dancing with Mark Forster?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt.
So when you were dancing with Mark Forster, you had that feeling of freedom.
Yes.
Oh, and what does that do for you? What does having that freedom give to you?
Dancing with Mark Foster is just absolute joy.
Yeah, but forget Mark for a minute. Forget Mark for a minute.
You mentioned him.
And so you get that feeling of freedom when you do dancing with Mark. Yeah. Or when you do your coaching.
You feel that anything's possible.
Okay, good. And
that you're capable of more than you thought you were capable of.
Good. And what does that feeling of being capable of more than you're capable of do for you?
That gives you that nice warm glow.
Can I just ask you to say it gives me a nice warm glow?
Okay, it gives me a nice warm glow.
Because I have a nice warm glow anyway, because I'm doing what I want to be doing and have been doing it for 25 years. And I can tell you it's the best thing ever. And I had more, I realised after 18 months I had more security than when I was employed, because I had 5 customers and then 10. So if one drops off, well, I've got another 9. And I've done some work, so I've got some money in the bank as well, and some things forward. So that feeling of doing anything, you can do anything you want to do, is that the right feeling? Is that way I can do anything I want to do?
That's
Yeah? Or is it something else?
It's more a sort of
just go with the
come on, girl, you're capable sort of feeling.
Okay, that feeling of I'm capable of doing this, I'm capable of anything.
Yeah.
Good. So you know that feeling? I'd just like you to sit with that feeling that I'm capable and I'm free, I've got freedom. And I'd like you to imagine all that snow globe just settling down in your mind of all those other things. I mean, a lot of it's settled down anyway. And I'd like you to just breathe in that feeling of being capable and you can do anything and you have that freedom. And we're just going to sit together and breathe, and I can feel that feeling too. It's so wonderful. So what's showing up for you now, Rosemary?
It's quieter. I guess I'm still... There's that nagging voice, isn't it, which is obviously the ego going on about, but don't you think you should hedge your bets? Perhaps you should just look at your CV this weekend. Maybe you need to. So it's quieter, but it's still...
Just flick it off your shoulder.
Can I? Just
you
go
can
away.
Flick it off your shoulder, yeah. One of my delegates taught me that, She said, it was on one of the recent modules, she said, I can just flick it off my shoulder. But I'm having that. So let's go back to that feeling of freedom and capability and just breathe. And say hello to your true self. That's the real you. And while you're in that space, I'm just going to talk to the guys a little bit. So, Claire Graves, identified that we go through various values levels. And one of the values levels is 4. And 4 is all about the system and obeying the rule book. And if you're good now, you'll get rewarded in heaven or with a promotion and a gold watch. And that's very much what academia is like, and structures of universities and public sector, and the whole kind of education system. And so Rosemary's kind of been grey up in that kind of neurological structure. But there's a battle because that set of values isn't serving her anymore. And she now wants to be more of a true self, which is values level 7. And there was a battle going on, and her ego's trying to keep her, no, if you stay good, you'll get a gold watch, or the equivalent. So that's kind of where it was at, that little battle going on, which is understandable, really. She's also quite analytical, so that's why I want to keep her mind quiet. So, Rosemary, what's showing up for you now?
It's really quite emotional. When you finished the last bit before you went back to talk to people, it was like, the best way I can describe it is meeting a long lost friend.
And that's you.
Yeah, and it is making me quite. I can feel the tears welling up. It's
good. That's
weird
a good sign.
feeling.
That's a good sign. Because you're reading all the ego crap and level 4 crap that's been, for the best reasons, kind of installed. And now it's time to flick the ego off your shoulder and uninstall it. So just let's have a bit more quiet time. Breathe again into that feeling of freedom and capability of being able to do anything. And the joy in meeting your true self again. And that true self's always been there. It's just covered in layers and layers of dust. Just let that snow globe completely settle and breathe in the new life that's always been there since you were a little girl. Playful, daring, creative, making up games, using your imagination. Still there. So what's showing up for you now, Rosemary?
It's weird how you know so much about my childhood. That's really weird. Or maybe that's everybody's childhood.
I think it's everybody. Everybody goes from being creative, then they land up in school and it all gets knocked out.
Yeah, it's stifled. Yeah. It's weirdly quiet in my head.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And look how quickly you've achieved that. I've gone back in with you about 4 times. But, you're very good at being analytical, which is great. But sometimes following your heart desire is better.
I think you somehow probably lose that, don't you? I know some people are
sometimes
intuitive.
I don't lose it.
Okay, I do. I go to the analytical as opposed to what's my gut telling me.
Yeah, well, just kick it off your shoulder and flick it off. Anytime that little voice says, "Oh, you should be fearful. You should do this. It's scary." That's just your ego. It's not you. It's not you at all. And it's a wonderful life.
So, Rosemary, you use that phrase, sometimes I don't listen to what my gut's telling me. If you were to really listen to that inner wisdom that you've got, that wisdom that's telling you what you are capable of, what's it saying to you?
But I need to take the risk. I can't put myself in a position to work for somebody in that sort of corporate world again.
No, don't blame you.
I need to be in control.
Change the word need to I am going to be in control.
Ooh, that's a scary one, isn't it?
I'm going to create mine. Well, you've got loads of friends. We'll help you. I mean, yes, I was saying to Helen, somebody Helen recommended for one of our courses. I arranged to have a chat with him about setting up on his own as a coach yesterday, and spent an hour and 25 minutes together, and he went away with like lots of ideas, and he talks to Helen. So there's loads of us around who that, you know, support each other, and you know, it's all there.
Yeah, I guess, you know, you were saying about, you know, what other people say, because I've had other people go, oh, you don't want to go into, there's so many coaches, you don't want to be doing that.
Yeah, but they don't know. They don't know.
And that was my thought.
Can I tell you? Just calm down a minute.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story?
Mm-hmm.
We've got somebody on the 3P's current cohort, and she said, "What? I tend to go to quite a few meetings with the coaches, and they all talk about there's not much work around, is there?" And I said, "Well, I know a coach called Callie Fraser, and she doesn't go to any network meetings with coaches because she knows if she's at a meeting with coaches, she's not going to meet anybody who wants coaching. She's just going to meet other people who are talking. And the only reason they're there is because their ego is saying, go to meeting, go to network. Easy to go to coaching network. I can make new friends like me." So what Callie does is she meets people who aren't coaches, like all the people who she knew dancing. So when she first set up, she contacted other people in her circle. So just quiet your mind and breathe again. Let's go into that special place. And I'm just going to talk to the guys. So guys, what is happening is that Rosemary's ego, analytical self, keeps blurting out stuff. And then I keep taking it back in. And every time we go back in, when we say, what's showing it for you, she goes really, really quiet. And then she starts to chatter again, but not as much. So we go back in again. And I've got all night, you know, to keep doing this because I love it. I can leave her like this and she wouldn't know I wasn't there breathing. And I could go and get a glass of wine at 6 o'clock and she'd still be like, okay. So that's why I keep taking her back in. Because every time she goes back in, she goes back and finds her true self again. Who she was really emotional about finding, because she's not found her for a long time. She's lovely. And you know the beauty about coaching like this, you're still getting paid while they're kind of got their eyes closed. It's lovely. Bring it on. I don't have a stress-free Christmas. I mean, I do.
Stress-free life.
So, Rosemary, isn't that nice in that place? Now, Rosemary, you can go into that place whenever you go for a walk or go and sit by a lake. And just imagine your snow globe settling. So what's showing up for you now?
It's just really quiet and calm.
Good. Now, in more traditional coaching, we'd say, right, let's have a plan. what are you going to do now? But we're not going to do any of that. Because we know Rosemary has all the answers, and she can call her mate Callie and me and other people. So you know the old problem about being full of panic and lots of things going on and being risk averse and the conflict about employment or having freedom. Is that all gone?
Yeah, and
Good.
it's quite weird. It's quite empty in here now.
Good.
But yeah.
And that's it. The juice is good. So let's have one more. We can get the others to join in, let them all join in with us, and we'll just get into that quiet place and breathe. Now I'm going to ask Rachel and Danielle and Helen, who've got their eyes closed, do you feel connected with Rosemary? Do you feel a connection? You can just nod or whatever if you want to. Smile. So Rosemary, what's showing up for you now?
Just total calm.
And the old problem's gone?
Yeah. And I'm sure Callie could tell you I'm not usually calm.
Well, I've met you before as well. But I know what I do know is that everybody can find their true selves. Everybody has the capacity to have insights. And your true self knows more about what to do and the solution than anybody giving you advice like, oh, there's lots of coaches around. Well, how do you know? Are you a coach? Have you got a successful business? There's only two people in the room that I would really ask about that. And those are the ones who've been doing it for quite a long time, who've got successful businesses, and they'll say, there's lots of work out there. And until recently, you paid less tax. You don't owe any of that shit. So what we'll do is we'll check up on you in a bit.
Okay.
That's all right. What do we want to do next? Can we ask if there's any questions? Or
so guys, what are you guys curious about how Steve coached Rosemary?
We're not asking questions for Rosemary because we don't want it to come out of this space.
So what questions have you got for
That's
Steve?
Callie and I.
So Christina.
So we give the client, according to the three principles, lots of space, lots of quiet space, because Steve asked her a couple of times to stay there in that space, the quiet, that freedom, that warm glow, that little girl. Is that about it? Is that silence?
Well,
because we know silence. We know silence in coaching is a very powerful thing.
Well, the first part is listening and calibrating around their model of the world. So I asked quite a lot of questions, and then I made a note of things like being in full panic mode headless, and then being risk averse, the worry about getting clients, getting a job but not doing a job, and all that kind of stuff that was going on. And I believe all that's gone now. I care about stuff. And that's why I decided to do a bit of education about the ego and the true self, just a little bit. But really, where we're starting off from with the 3 principles is they're how we experience life. And the first principle is that everything is coming from inside us, projected out, like a projectionist. The second thing is that the level of consciousness that we see the world is varies. So people in King Henry VIII's time would see the world very differently to the way we do now. People who, gay marriage wasn't legal until 2012. Now it's really, everyone's doing it. Well, lots of people are doing it. And so our levels of consciousness have changed. But she was a bit trapped in a level of consciousness of, like, always know your place, what Claire Graves called level 4. Know your place, follow the structure, follow the rules, you'll get rewarded one day. But the big thing is, we start off from the point of view that everyone's perfect. They already have everything. There's nothing to fix. And then it's just a case of exploring what are the main things. So there's a conflict between the ego and all this rigidity about being employed and knowing your place, versus the true self, which wants to be alive. And so that's kind of the direction that we took. And as we spoke about it, Rosemary's physiology changed and she went quieter and quieter. Occasionally she pops up and says, you this, and we just remind her. So that's kind of what was going on. The quiet space is kind of like an insight-friendly space when the ego's not. But the key to the success is by being curious about her model of the world and spending a lot of time on that. Now, surface level coaching would have been, so you've got these options. On the one hand, you can go for employment, and what could you do about that if we take that first? Well, I've been thinking about the data in my CV. Oh, that sounds a good idea. We'll just make a note of that. And what other options you got? Well, I could set up as a coach, but it's a bit scary and everybody's told me that there's no work going on. Okay, well, maybe you could, what could you do about that? Well, I could go and find out about it. I could talk to Kelly, and I've met Helen now and a few other people. Okay, so that's surface level. But what was underneath that was a battle going on between real self and all the values level 4 stuff that's been. I mean, who does 5 degrees? What other questions have we got? One more. Should I have one more question? Then you're going to tell them about the work program. Cool.
So, what other questions have you got for us? Helen.
So is it based on the idea that basically if you can connect with your true self, that you'll automatically go in the direction that's the best for you?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a lot more to it, but ultimately, you're absolutely right, Helen, because our true self always knows what's right for us. We had a conversation this morning about trusting guts. And actually, when we do what we think we should do, that's always our script. That's always our ego. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's probably not your heart's desire.
But we're educated to believe that we've got to explore the 7 habits of highly successful people, use positive self-talk, use affirmations. That's all additive stuff. What this is you've already got it. We're just blowing some cobwebs away, which is really lovely because it's so natural and so quick. I mean, from the time we started to the time when we last stopped was 20 minutes. I guess. You still charge for 2 hours. You still charge for 2 hours, but
What Rosemary will also probably find is because she's been able to drop into that insight-friendly space, she'll find it more easy to find that space again because she knows where she's looking now, inside herself rather than outside of herself. And she'll continue to have insights over the next few days. So I'm pretty sure when we meet up at the Deer Park for our next cup of coffee, Rosemary, there'll be some insights that will start to bubble up after this session for you, because you'll be listening for that true self. You'll be able to hear your true self. You'll recognize her voice.
And your mind will be quiet. And it's a good place to be, isn't it? How are you feeling now, Rosemary?
Still bizarrely very quiet.
Well, I knew you'd find it because it's you.
Mm.
It may take some people a bit longer than others. That's okay. We know they'll get there. And you may find you pop out of it from time to time. But one of the things with the program that we do is it lasts for 8 months, and that's because usually before the 4th module, everybody comes back and we say, what's showing out for you guys? And they go, my mind's a lot quieter. Things are bothering me less than they used to. I'm not worried about the future. I feel the coaching I'm doing is more natural. So that's one of the reasons why we start off and finish 8 months later. To give everybody individually the time to kind of get there. And even when you kind of got there, you haven't got there really. You've got a lot of it done, but we still fall out of it. Like, if I get an email from the ILM asking for something stupid, it's all coming from inside me. It's nothing to do with the email from them. It's just me. Do you want to carry on a bit, Kelly?
Yeah, so guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop the link into the chat for our website, which will give you some more information about our 3 Principles coaching program. As Steve said, this is quite different from programs that you've experienced with us before. With our NLP courses, which the majority of you have done, we work quite quickly. It's short blocks. With this course, we do 6 modules of 2 days each, so it's 12 days in total, but they're spread over a much longer period, so it takes about 8 months to complete the course. And the reason that we do it that way is because lots of people think they get the principles intellectually, but you can't get the principles that intellectually. You have to embody the principles. So it takes some time for that to happen for you as individuals and as coaches. And only really when you fully embodied it yourself do you start to get really amazing results with clients. So what we do on the program, as well as there's a lot of coaching on the program, so you'll receive a lot of coaching and you'll give a lot of coaching. And whether you're getting coaching for yourself or being the coach, that's all helping embody the principles. It's dropping into that quiet space like Rosemary's experienced today, along with some other things. But you also coach outside of the program. So this is we've actually had the program accredited by the Association of Coaching. So it's accredited at their highest level. So it's the accredited advanced diploma in coaching with 3 principles. And as part of that, you'll do 60 hours of coaching outside of the taught hours, which means that you can go for that top level of accreditation with the AC, along with some other things. There's a lot more hours to do, but that gives you the route to get the accreditation with the AC. But again, with your coachees, the more you're coaching, the more you're embodying the principles yourself. One of the things that both Steve and I have found is the more we're utilizing this coaching, the more we're actually embodying it ourselves in the rest of our lives, not just coaching. So it's a really great experience to coach the 3 principles because you have to be in that space yourself.
And we also do 3 coaching observations for each person. So on module 2, module 3 and module 4, we do a coaching observation, but we don't just write down and give them feedback. We actually will intervene if they're struggling and give them tips about how they can, pick up on words, whether they think, the feelings are coming from the Christmas turkey or something. And so they learn very rapidly that way. We also do 4 coaching supervision sessions of 2 hours each. And again, it's all about people bringing the good, the bad, and the ugly, as I once called it. But they share their good experience of what's gone really well with everyone, and they share the areas where they've had a bit of trouble or it's not gone as well. So they get even more feedback. And then there are 2 little assignments to do, but there's no kind of academia with them. There's no referencing. They take about 3 hours each, and it's all about your evaluation of your own coaching based on the feedback you've had on the 60 hours in your observations. And all the people that have done the program so far, we've had 2 cohorts, they've all said it feels like I'm more at home. It feels more natural. I feel like I'm just having a conversation, and it just feels so good.
And one of the great things about the program is because you've got the 60 hours to do, so you're basically coaching 6 people for 10 hours each. The vast majority of our delegates charge for that. And we did a bit of a straw poll with our delegates, and most are charging on average at least £100 an hour for that 60 hours of coaching. So that means that you're getting a return on your investment for the course price just by doing the 60 hours of coaching that you need to do with your program. And again, we all support you throughout that process. So we're finding that I think almost everyone that's on the program have at least had the course be cost neutral. because of the charging for coaching, which is a great place to be. So like I said, what I've done is I've popped the link into the chat for you. We have got an early bird offer on until the end of December.
Well, we've got 2 early birds.
Yeah. So the early bird on to the end of December means that you get £500 off the course fee, and you get a one-to-one coaching session with either Steve or myself. If you're not quite ready to book on before the end of December, you'll still get the £500 off till the end of January, but you won't get the free coaching session with Steve or I. That said, you will always be coached by us during the programme as well.
And you can come back to as many of these masterclasses as you want to. You're very, very welcome. The other thing is, what a lot of people do is do a payment plan. So the cost of the course with the discounts is £4,000 plus VAT, which is like 4,800. But if people book this month, then they can have 12-month payment plan. And so it works out to £400 a month, which should easily be covered by the extra income you're getting from the coaching. And modules 4 and 5 are also about accelerating your business and monetizing things. And if you want to, and there's lots of activities on breaking barriers and overcoming obstacles in your business and how to get clients and all that kind of stuff. And also you get invited to our monthly Accelerate program, which is free, which Helen came to this morning, Dan came to this morning. So it's a no-brainer, really.
So guys, if you do have any questions about the programme, have a look on the website. That gives you a lot more information than we're giving you today. But feel free to reach out to either Steve or I by email. We're more than happy to have a chat with you. So guys, thank you so much for coming along today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the masterclass, and thank you, Rosemary, for allowing us to coach you for this afternoon session.
Can we just check in with Rosemary? Rosemary, how are you feeling now?
I feel like I've had several gin and tonics. I really am so chilled, it's untrue. It's bizarre.
Brilliant. That's wonderful. I'm so pleased for you.
Thank you.
Go and have one now.